Welcome to Tech Talk. This is Mike with Dwayne and Kingsley, here to talk about everything that is in the tech world. And usually, well, today's kind of a downer, I think. Hacking and
yeah, it's not a good, I wouldn't say it's going to be a good discussion.
it's not like our Christmas shows, like, look at all this new stuff.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
like, look at everything that just got hacked.
Yeah.
Or broken into.
And it's nothing we can control,
No,
really.
not a thing. Absolutely not.
I don't feel out of control.
No.
I feel the world is out of control, and I think it's up for us to, learn, how to protect ourselves and our identity. And we've had the State of Ohio Attorney General's office here to talk about fraud alerts and how to notify.
How can we protect our identity when Equifax and those type of places get hacked?
Yeah, our identity protection.
I'm not in control of Equifax. They have my stuff.
Well, so does TransUnion and the other companies.
There's, you're just going to have to trust in the world, I guess. It's either that or go offline.
It's amazing that came up as the top of the news, because as we turn on the morning TV, we're seeing about disasters, going across the islands and
Well, fires, and
earthquakes
and hurricanes,
Yeah.
lions and tigers and bears.
Oh my!
They're all, they're everywhere.
Why don't you start off with some good news, though?
We
We have some updates. We have some new products coming out. Some companies that are
like
switching
Apple?
ownership.
Sure. What about your phone right there?
This is
you
not
just
it.
got something in.
I did install
Deb,
iOS.
he wants one for Christmas.
Not really.
What's one?
This is an iPhone 7 Plus. It's the big it's the big 7. I just put iOS 11 on it.
Yep.
So far, no problems, but it's only, I haven't had it a full 24 hours, so I don't know
It's only been hours old.
I don't know about battery life. I've heard things about battery life, and I think when you reinstall a system, it resets some of your settings, like turning Bluetooth on.
Yeah.
And so you need to go and turn that off if you're not using it, and location services and some of these other things that just sit in the background and suck up your battery.
Yeah.
Bluetooth
But it
off.
does look nice.
Bluetooth off, does it? Is there many changes in it? I mean, what's the?
I don't know.
What's the big difference about it, other than it's a new version?
I don't need.
I
don't need an application dock at the bottom of my Messenger window.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's
It's for quick task switching back and forth, and it just gives you a little bar, and you slide it back and forth, and you go, I need to go to Photos, or I need to.
Yeah, I saw that, and it's like,
the biggest thing to me is every update, they all look about the same. I mean, I don't see a whole lot of difference in them. Now,
just the
obviously,
user experience is different. That's all.
But now, okay, so
I'm hoping there are
there's new
security
phones out.
improvements. I hope there are things that are fixed.
Oh, there should be, but you don't see that.
Okay.
Well, I just read that there's already talking about updates coming out for 11.
There's always updates.
I mean,
People
just got them, and they're already talking updates. Yeah.
Okay.
I just now read that.
Is yours installed?
Yes.
Okay. So you're an early adopter like me.
Yesterday, I plugged in my phone to copy some pictures. Immediately, iTunes opened up on my computer, and then it said, let's do an update and let's back up. And I'm all for backing up my devices. So back it up, back it up, back it up. And then what's the second thing I say? Do your updates, do your updates, do your updates.
Yep.
But it didn't notify me for my iPad yet. So I looked at it, and it said no updates available. And I thought 11.
Do you think they've moved past the age of your device to be good for it?
Well, thank you for not saying my age and not the device. But
I'm starting to get that too. At your age, should you be doing that?
No, and you're absolutely right. The other iPad that we have in the house is already considered legacy, and it's no longer supported with updates. So what I have to do is plug this in like I did my phone, and it wants to see if I could do an update. It will be getting power from the computer, and then it will see if it offers it. It may be one of their staged releases, because the first time they did a massive release of an iOS update, we thought the sky was falling and the internet was being crashed, because there were so many campuses and businesses that saw huge surges of data use. And oh, I mean, it happens here at our campus, and it happens with Windows updates whenever the second Tuesday of the month comes along.
Yeah.
Now, they did come out with the new iPhone 8, and I think 8 Plus, and a 10 for the 10th anniversary.
X.
Right, X, but it
X.
means 10
Yeah.
for the 10th anniversary. So,
What happened to 9?
yeah, I don't know if they're going to do 9
Yeah,
after
wow.
10, or if that's one of those skipped things.
9 plus 2?
Didn't Windows do that? They went from 8
8.
to...
Apple is
Yeah. 8
copying
to 10.
Microsoft here.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't want to do that.
Oh, yeah. Following the leader here.
Okay, so we've got
And then one of the things
we've
was
got features.
facial recognition on the 10,
Only on the 10,
I think.
right?
Yeah.
No
Now-
button, right?
No button, no fingerprint scanner. So
Oh, it doesn't do both?
no, it's only facial.
Got to look your best.
Well, you know, that's a good question because there
not
was
how
some
you feel,
news
it's how you look.
thing going on today, and they said, well, and it was a lady that said, well, I change my face all the time.
Well, it goes off its depth,
Yeah.
right? It's not just a picture. You can't show a photo of a person. It is measuring depth from here to there, and
So it's-
the
yeah.
distances. So you're supposed to be able to like grow a beard and put on glasses or
And it'll
change
still
your hair.
recognize
It still recognizes you because it's measuring distances
of field.
and depth.
There's a lot of scanners across the top of that phone. It's not
Yeah.
just a camera. It has infrared and depth sensors, as Mike said.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I saw, I think they were joking. The Google says, okay, we've got everybody's fingerprints now. We want their facial features.
Oh.
Google said this about Apple.
Somebody,
All right.
you know, that okay,
There's
now we
always
have
gonna be-
facial scanners, and now everybody's gonna be recognized by their face and not just their thumbprint.
Sounds like more tracking to me.
Yeah.
If you're looking for, identification with all the cameras that we have around the world,
Yeah.
that's a conspiracy theory starting right now.
I guess it'll
well.
recognize me even if with my tinfoil hat.
Well,
Oh, you don't have a tinfoil hat. You don't have a tinfoil hat.
that's a good.
But
No.
okay, the other
Are
thing
we
was
thumbs up or thumbs down? Are we afraid of this, or are we in favor of it?
I'm
I'd like to see it in practice.
I'm
to
this
see
way
it,
so far.
see if it actually works
I'm
all
not
the time.
Totally agreed with it.
Because you couldn't hold it here and do it. You'd have to have it a certain distance and a certain angle.
Yeah.
So
What if you're down?
Some
yeah,
people
what
are
if
saying
you're
you're
a little
driving
lower?
along, which you shouldn't be doing driving,
Well, yeah,
but
you shouldn't be.
you'd have to hold it in front of your face.
And what's the other new feature in 11?
What is it?
It's location services detecting that you're moving, and it shuts
Right.
down your services.
But
Really?
It's an
I th-
opt-in. It's an
right,
opt-in.
there's,
Opt-in. So you
there's
can turn it off and
3. You can do it manually, you can not do it, and you can have it automatic.
Yeah. It's a step in the right direction,
Yeah.
but I'm guilty. I look at my phone when I'm traveling.
No, I let passengers do it. I don't want to be that guy.
I use it for GPS more than anything.
So
traveling.
It doesn't shut that off.
It won't shut that off.
It's going to be
Only the internet. Based.
probably mail messages and those type of
Okay.
notifications.
Gotcha.
So that could segue into privacy, and some of us people who are a little paranoid, maybe, and don't trust Google and all the data collection.
Don't trust Apple.
Google and Twitter, they are shutting down people's accounts that they deem to be
Oh, yeah.
hateful or whatever for free speech. Me, I am. Yeah, and Facebook would be part of that too.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
taking away accounts that you don't talk the way we like people to talk.
We want you to.
you know.
You're not being nice.
And Twitter does that too. If you maybe say good things about President Trump, then those things get pushed down, and the people who are negative get pushed up,
Pushed up.
for political reasons, or they'll shut
question.
you down. So, or the other things when you go and search on the internet, Google, when you Google it, they keep that information. Say, like if you're searching or shopping for something, your searches can be tailored.
Oh yeah, you noticed on the right side they always.
Or
the
even
next time
on,
you open up that browser, it's like, hey, I just looked for that.
Or even in the searches.
All the time.
The searches are tailored to what they know you have looked for before,
Yeah.
or the type of, like a Facebook thing might come up because,
Yeah.
hey, I know you have a Facebook thing. So here
Amazon's
that is.
notorious for that as too.
Oh, yeah.
Big time. So it's not just Google, it's all of these
How many
vendors.
companies buy and trade and sell information services and analytics?
Oh,
Probably most.
I was going to, yeah.
Okay.
Do we even have a number? Hundreds? Thousands?
Well, I'm just thinking that it's not that everybody is in their own silo, because that information travels back and forth. And if your browser knows what you've been doing, and then you're now seeing that behavior show up in your social networking apps, then you know that maybe some of your personal identity has, and your behavior has moved over.
Like whenever I would search for something on my phone, and then I go home and look on my iPad, my history is the same there.
Safari has synced
Right.
to your iCloud.
So where else is that going? Because it's gone through the air somewhere. I'm not saying that it's nefarious or whatever.
Well, now, that brings up another good question, because not just Safari or your history sync, just going to the site maybe at work, and then you go home and you're on a completely different machine without that history being synced. You go back to the website, it's like, hey, I just looked that up.
That's because
I know.
you've logged into somewhere.
I
Yeah,
understand
somewhere it's
iCloud
following.
because I'm in the iOS environment.
Yeah.
But my Google browser, Chrome,
Yeah.
asks me if I want to log in, and Firefox
Yep.
wants to log
Log
in,
in.
so that you have that transportability of your favorites and behavior
Yep.
feature.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, that
You
way
could-
you don't.
you
your
could call
bookmarks
it a
follow you.
feature.
Yeah.
well, again,
Or you could call it tracking. Either way.
Okay, so where I was going to go is if you don't want that,
Okay.
okay, there's a browser that I've been using called Brave. So
Brave.
download
Okay.
Brave if you want
Brave.
things to be blocked, phishing and tracking and ad tracking and all that stuff. So it doesn't do that. Also, an alternative to Googling things, you can go to duckduckgo.com.
that's the search engine that is used by Tor browsers.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the other thing I was going to, torproject.org.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Well, now
since Google is part of, or YouTube is part of Google, another thing that they've been doing is demonetizing people's accounts who they deem have hateful speech or not talking like the way they think you should talk.
Yep.
So they are cutting the income of people who question things. So the alternative to that is maybe VidMe. There's other ones out there, but vid.me is an alternative. An alternative to maybe Facebook is minds.com. Minds like mind.
Have you used or logged in? I mean,
Yeah.
Do they look similar?
Not really.
Not really.
No.
Different.
But they do have a news feed and stuff of people.
Because
or
I asked that because, like the web browser Brave that you were talking about, because there's a lot of sites that are just built to work with Firefox better, and they build off Firefox and Internet Explorer, or now Chrome, with it. But there's a lot of these that don't, like Brave, it may not show up, like all of the information. So, and
Well,
that
website design and the optimization for that browser experience has been around for a long time, and we have found little quirky things that just do or do not work better.
Yeah.
And it could be going into a content management system and being able to edit a page, or you go into your course management system, and ours is Blackboard, and the experience. Today they were on campus, and I said, "What browser would you like to have?" And it goes like Chrome. And we didn't have Chrome on that machine, and I said Firefox. Like, okay, but their first choice was not, do you have Microsoft Edge?
no,
or
they
Internet
don't
Explorer?
play well together.
Yeah. No, I know that's a whole other topic, and we've got lots, but Mike, we need to
And
take
then-
a quick break.
And then one more thing is a Twitter alternative is Gab.
Gab.
Gab.ai. So these are all alternatives if you don't want to be part of that whole system.
I don't know if I want somebody to say, would you gab me?
Sounds interesting, doesn't it?
Let's
so
take a
check
break.
those out and look it up. We'll be back.
So,
Welcome
Mike,
back.
if we have alternatives, now I've got all my friends in Facebook, I have to tell them all to move over to someplace else.
That's painful.
Or you're
painful.
following people on Twitter, and now you're saying, I want to follow somebody with Gab, but they're not doing Gab, and so I'm not really following them.
No.
Well, you know, somebody like, for instance, Milo Yiannopoulos, he got kicked off Twitter for saying some odd things. So he's probably over there and not so much on Twitter. So there may be people that you want to see that have moved over or had to.
Okay.
Interesting.
And, you know, the kids are always, you know, they may think that my parents have messed up Facebook. I need to go somewhere else where my parents aren't there tracking me.
Well, yeah, that's,
You know,
yeah.
there's
Those,
that.
those are, yeah.
I used to say to orientation that, you may think we spend all of our time on MySpace and,
MySpace.
well,
But there's a progression of things.
sure, but I mean, that was very, very popular.
Yeah.
But
know,
there's
at
a
the
way
time.
to fight back against companies who are fighting against free speech, I would say, because I'm very liberal on the free
Okay.
speech end.
Yeah.
You can say you can say whatever you want and make a fool of yourself. I think you have that freedom.
You have the freedom to make a fool of yourself. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. As long as you do it constructively and try not to be destructive,
Sure.
of tearing stuff up. I mean, that's just wrong.
Physically tearing
Yeah,
things up.
physically tearing stuff up.
Right.
You know, it's like, I don't like that building there. Let's tear it down. It's in the wrong place. You know, it needs to be moved over 20 feet, or it needs to be in a museum. You know, it's like, okay,
Oh, right.
really? You know, things just, yeah. It's like, don't be destructive and break it. Do it in an orderly fashion and have it moved.
Right.
So,
We've stayed away from politics.
yes, and that's hard to do right now.
We try to
in
talk about
public.
about the news.
Yeah.
And when we were comparing notes last week on what the topic should be, I think Equifax came up on everybody's list.
yeah.
And if it were not for the devastation of hurricanes and earthquakes, right now we'd probably be seeing that on top of the news cycle. And I think that the takeaways from this is that in order for you to have a credit card account for a credit bureau to have information to see whether or not you've been paying your electric bill or you can have preferred rates, they've gathered almost all your information. They know
Who
your
better to
mortgages,
hack?
they know your loans, they know everything about it. One-stop shopping. And in this case, the technical side of it was there is a software system that operates their stuff, and it had an announcement. Top critical update. We have found a flaw. It has been announced in the public. Update now, and they didn't do it. They didn't do it. and then
Equifax.
Equifax.
Yeah.
Equifax
Apache,
said to
Apache
update?
had an update, so the
Yeah.
Apache org lets everybody know, and
Yeah.
they didn't do it, and bad things happened.
Yeah. I
Now,
mean, that's,
things can be announced and like, okay, there's a bug in your phone and you better take care of it. Otherwise, we're going to tell the world
Right.
and you're fair game.
well, yeah,
well,
I mean, that's,
In this case, everybody was told you need to update your stuff and they didn't, and bad things happened.
yeah.
Are they liable?
Why not?
Can you sue them?
Or like if I got my
Can you
accounts
sue them
drained,
for,
would they be liable to?
It's not an
Reimburse me?
It's not an FDIC banking law,
right?
but they hold your information, and your information is key to everything else.
I think
Now-
there's a level
Yeah.
of trust and liability there, personally.
I think they've
That's a good
handled
one.
it professionally. They admitted the
Yeah.
problem. They got rid of level 2 and level 3 IT staff, publicly shamed them as well.
But was it their fault?
I wasn't in
know,
the IT help desk at the
obviously,
time that they
yeah.
made the decision.
Right.
They could have said, well, we have other updates that we're going to run at this time,
Yeah.
and they took a chance and they lost.
Mm-hmm.
But Equifax did announce, they put up a new website. It's like Equifax Security 2017,
Yeah.
and you put in your last name and the last 6 digits, your social security number, and you are enrolling and they say come back in a couple days, now that time frame has been compressed, and they say you're good, we don't have any of your information. Or they're going to tell you that you are at risk because you have been exposed. And the two things that they're recommending is that you sign up with the other two credit bureau companies, TransUnion and the other one, I can't remember, I apologize, and that you just freeze your credit accounts. Now, what that means is that an outside group can't go and pull your credit bureau records.
Right.
So if you want to go buy a car, you need to turn it on first.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's it.
And that's a free service.
Yes.
Turn it on, turn it off.
Turn it off. Yeah.
Right.
Why wouldn't we do that anyway?
They have to make it easy and they have to make it secure.
But is there not? Can we not just say I'm locking it down right now, regardless if they were hacked? Could I call in and just do that?
I don't know if you could before this.
Yeah.
The lines have been busy lately.
Yeah.
Because
I'm sure.
There's a.
I tried to get on the site the other day and I couldn't do it.
Okay.
It just wouldn't come up. It was just, we're busy. It's busy.
I've had good luck here on campus, and I've checked and I've demonstrated it for people. But
I've had a few that
this is
started
not
to
the
come
first,
up
and it won't be the last. I mean, this is going to happen over and over and over again.
Things are going to get hacked, and we're only going to lose more and more. We just have to, A, face it, B, crawl in a hole somewhere,
Yeah.
and just be off the grid completely.
So they got hacked. Do they know who has it and who hacked it? And don't say the Russians.
I don't believe I've read that deep into it to see that.
I don't know as they've actually
haven't been
said
throwing that out there yet.
I mean, as
It
much as
will come out.
Oh,
It will
yeah.
come out.
Yeah.
But just like anything else, we can have Netflix hacked. We can have HBO. We can have Sony. We can we can be told that all of a sudden, every single electric power grid, their programmable control systems have been probed. Gee, somebody ought to do something about that. Gee, somebody ought to patch that Apache for, Equifax. All of a sudden, bad things happen.
Yeah. They could have simply said, yeah, it's on the list. We're patching it tomorrow.
And tonight
it got hacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, somebody could have been targeting it in the long run and just waiting, and it just didn't happen. So
Can I shift the conversation?
Absolutely.
I know. I
you
know how
some
much
toys
you
over
like
here.
these. These were not gifts. It's not Christmas. The Christmas show comes up later. But
Ah,
are you a Zigbee or a Z-Wave guy?
Z-Wave right now.
Okay.
So these are home control things.
These are. Yeah, these talk to the controller I'm using.
So we wanted to go with LED lights.
Look at this.
We wanted to move from compact fluorescents to LEDs.
Yep.
But when I put in the bulbs, our dimmer just goes makes a horrible noise.
Yep.
So I
You
needed
gotta
to have
use different dimmers.
I needed to have a different dimmer.
Yep.
But when I look at this, it's going to transmit back and forth to my smart hub using a radio protocol.
Yep.
And then the switch that I'm using for the garage is a different protocol.
Yeah.
And
You need
and,
to-
and I'm afraid I'm going to get a call in from Pat M.
Yeah. Probably.
Probably.
Soon.
So
I've
think
got one of
I
these.
think when I look at the side and I see the compatibility list, that's where I'm going to find some comfort that it is multiply compatible with number of different protocols and systems.
Absolutely.
Now, does this motion sensor work like the ones in this room where if you don't move for like 5 minutes, the lights go off?
That particular one tells me the temperature in the room.
Yeah. I was going to say
And
multiple things.
if it sees motion, it can tell my smart hub to turn all the lights on at the house. So
Or do they stay on?
until they're told to turn off.
Okay.
Usually-
that's what irritates me here. I can be over here working, and the camera's in the way of the motion sensor, and then all the lights go off. Then I got to stand over here, wave my arms, try
So,
to get
so,
to
so
turn on.
Dwayne's had a bad influence on me,
I'm
and I
sorry.
now am, a Amazon Prime offender.
Yeah.
You're a hooker, or not a hooker, pusher.
Pusher.
You know what these are for?
Pusher and
These-
technology.
These are for my outdoor, holiday
Absolutely.
lights.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
That-
waterproof.
It's nice.
You
nice
got that
product.
one?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. Nice product.
Excellent.
Nice product.
Well, so Zigbee and Z-Wave will work okay. All right. All right.
Yeah, yeah. They're good stuff. I think you have to just say I'm gonna, because you got to have a hub, or and that's where you got to start with.
Do you do this for convenience or power savings?
Yes.
Yeah. I was going to say both, but yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure how much you would expect to save out of it. if
You
at all.
know. Yeah, when you switch to LED, it's another story.
Right.
You know, you're changing your power usage drastically. But you know, we're out of time.
Yep.
The bulbs use more or less power, but
Then-
the switch uses more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The switch
Until
makes
next
up-
time, folks.
Yep. Thanks for watching.
Keep
See you
those
next-
calls and suggestions coming in.